Hi everyone, let's focus on this impulse here in this video where we go through the medium time frame, low time frame and very low time frame scenarios, including potential trading setups. So on the medium time frame, the bullish scenario is that this is the end of a higher time frame wave 2 and we are now in wave 1 of a bigger wave 3. So in this then potential wave 1, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave move where the potential end of wave 5 can be in because the Fibonacci's that you see over here, the 1.618 and the 1.236, taken from the high of 3 to the low of 4 is an important target area for a wave 5, as well as this 0.618 sitting at 28.2k. However, when we go to the lower time frames, I still have a little bit of a more upside scenario as well. But in this case, we are nonetheless, even if we get a little bit more upside still, we are going to look for eventually a move to the downside because this green wave one is going to end, and then we are looking for a wave 2. So potential shorts can be laddered in this area. There is quite a big resistance area right above where we are right now. We have the high time frame range, value area low, a big support resistance flip area as well, and some other confluences mentioned in my previous video as well. So a potential short can be laddered, stop loss somewhere above, be safe, and then eventually trade to the downside, where the most common target for a wave 2 is the golden pocket area, and this invalidation is incorrect, so we can remove that. So this is a very interesting scenario where then over here one can build potential longs in this potential long setup where the target is going to be eventually the moon, stop loss below this low, and then trading for a very big move to the upside in a very high time frame wave 3, then a 4, and then eventually a 5 that can go all the way up to 100k as mentioned in my previous video. The bearish scenario is that this is a WXY on the higher time frame, with this then being the final wave of an ABC expanded flat. And an expanded flat C wave consists of 5 waves, and this would then be the final wave 5 as wave 4 is finished over here. And we're then looking for again the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, with wave 5 either finishing over here or one more move up and then going to the downside. Once again, the resistance areas right above are very interesting to possibly move this short to the upside, start laddering around this area over here, and then trade it all the way to the downside with much lower targets to come. However, nonetheless, with the bullish and the bearish scenario, potential short setups are interesting in this area. However, you got to also think like, hey, we are in a very bullish market structure, so you need a good strategy, good trading requirements, entry requirements in order to enter a potential short, because a short is a lot more risky than a long is at the moment. However, nonetheless, with the scenarios that we have on Elliott waves as well as the resistance coming up, a potential short can be interesting. So laddering here and then moving it to the downside for either much lower prices in a wave Y, or we go down for maybe the golden pocket area or the 0.5, which is a minimum target for wave 2, and then eventually closer trade over here for then more upside. If we then go to the lower time frame bullish scenario, I have to jump to the 15-minute time frame. And this was the trading setup that we had, which was basically entering a trade over here in the blue target box, stop loss below these lows, basically below the 0.5, as a wave 4 is invalidated if price goes below the 0.5, and then traded to the upside for a potential 5th wave still to come, with the green count here being a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now looking for this wave 4, we did hit a target for the wave 4, which actually is the minimum target of the 0.236 over here. It's a bit more rare, but absolutely possible, and especially in a bullish environment, the 0.236 can be a common target. Usually, however, it's one of these, the 382 or the 0.5, pulled by the way from the low of 2 to then the high of 3, where the high of 3, by the way, had a perfect tap over here of the 4.236 Fibonacci, trend-based Fib extension from the low of 1 to the high of 1 to the low of 2. So that is actually very nice. And then if we look at wave 4, and based on the price action we have now, we are going to deep dive into potential scenarios on the even lower time frame, basically this part over here. But wave 4 also, we're pushing to the upside, might be finished over here or over here. It's either or, which I will show on the even lower time frame count I have. But then wave 4 might be finished over here. Now what it is, the low is made in the weekend. I always prefer lows or highs being made when the markets are open throughout the week, so that the retail traders are basically stopped out. However, at the same time, if this is a wave 5 and we move to the upside for wave 5 ending somewhere around the 30k area, maybe price will come down eventually and then tap all the lows once more to eventually get all the retail traders out of their position for then, you know, this then being the wave 1, right? Wave 1 and then going down for 2 and then 3, 4, 5 to the upside, or go down all the way in a wave Y. So this trading setup, yeah, actually very nice. Was like, you know, could have been tapped in over here and then trading it to the upside, potential wave 5. Now, you got to know this is a lot of resistance coming up. So it's very, very interesting what price is going to do in the area between 28k and basically 32.4k. But make sure to check out my previous video or click on the card at the right top for the higher time frame scenarios and also the resistance area that we might run into very, very, very soon. So that is very interesting. The more bearish scenario on this very low time frame is that wave 5 is already in, less likely in my opinion, but nonetheless this area over here is a wave 5 target area. If this is indeed a 3 and this a 4 and then we have a 1, 2, 3, 4 and eventually 5, this is a wave 5 target area nonetheless. However, the lower the time frame you go, the less reliable Elliott wave becomes, and it's always better to keep an eye on the higher time frames. At least give your priority to higher time frames Elliott waves with direction and bias, and then go to the lowers to see if it matches. So yes, this is a wave 5 target area. However, price can still push up nonetheless, as this area has a high resistance potential for then a potential short area. So this short can then also be moved up. Again, shorting like this in a very bullish market structure, not let's say my personal preference, but of course if you have a solid strategy and entry requirements, a short nonetheless is actually a good idea. Honestly, with my trading strategy, I also had a short over here and closed down here because I only trade 1 to 3s, as that is my most profitable risk to reward ratio. Then we go based on statistics, by the way, guys. Statistics, very important to track statistics. Then we go to the very, very low time frame scenario. This could be 5, but let's stick on the 15. 1, 2, 3. In this scenario, wave 4 is already finished, and this is then a wave 1, 2, and we are currently working on 3. If I open the volume, you can also see that the volume is very nicely increasing with this move to the upside. Over here, during this wave 1, volume is very low. However, one could say this could have been a diagonal, and in a diagonal, wave 1, the volume is decreasing, very important. Then we have wave 2, always low volume, and then inside this wave 3 you can see volume is increasing, which is a signature, let's say, for a potential wave 3 where the volume is increasing, which is a bullish sign, of course. Now also we have the CVD, and I know I still have to make an educational video about it. Many people ask me, and I will listen to you guys, so I will make sure to make a video. However, to shortly explain, we see a yellow line and a blue line, and these represent market buys or market orders. Basically what it says is over here, the yellow line and the blue line are going down, which means that many people are selling. They are market selling, not limit selling, or limits are being like take profits, like it's market selling. So what you can see is basically between the low that we have over here in this range, between this low over here, you can see the yellow line, the low on the yellow line and the low on the blue line, right? So people were selling, and we can see the lines over here. However, if we look at this range and the lows over here, you can see that the low on the yellow line and the lows over here on the blue line are below the lows created over here. So what this basically means simply is there's a higher low between this range and this range. There's a higher low, but there is a lower low on both of these lines at the moment on the CVD, cumulative volume delta, in case you want to Google. Very, very interesting, and also very bullish, because that also means that even though there is more selling going on in this range than there was selling going on over here, even though there's a lot more sales and a lot more market selling, price is being absorbed by bigger limit orders that are sitting here, and they want to absorb all those sells. They want to buy. So people are selling into the pockets of the bigger positions that have their limit orders over here. Those limit orders are absorbing price action and will eventually push it to the upside, which is basically happening as we speak. So this might very well be a very interesting wave 4 going towards that very interesting resistance area. And I'm so curious what price is going to do in this area, to be honest. Now then, of course, we do have a bearish scenario over here, which is something we should not forget, where this then is a 3-wave in a W or an A. I'm actually gonna remove this excess now while making this video. We already passed the, we passed the kind of the X, like I had a W, X, Y scenario as well. Nonetheless, a 3-wave A, 3-wave B, 3-wave C is still a scenario, even though we are pushing to the upside, which is a lot more bullish. So this currently is an alternative, to be honest. And also, if we look at the length of this wave 2, which is very short actually, compared to then this being a whole wave 4, it's less likely, because wave 2 and wave 4 do have a relationship. Even though wave 4 is usually longer than a wave 2, wave 2 tends to be sharp and short, wave 4 tends to be shallow and long. It fits the waves much better to have wave 4 ending here and then have this as a wave 4 compared to the wave 2, then having this as a wave 4 and then wave 4 moving all the way down here compared to this short wave 2. However, if we do look to at least the wave 3 over here, then the 1-to-1 of this wave 3, the fib time taken from the low of 2 to the high of 3, is over here, the 1-to-1. Wave 4 does have a relationship with the impulsive structure, but the relationship with the wave 2 is more important than with the impulse. And yeah, it would just mean that wave 4 is going to take very, very long. And then next week, when the markets are open, we're going to take all these lows, stop out the retail traders. And then, of course, the potential trading setup is basically entering over here, which also is the target box area, as you can see. So basically, this would then be your trading setup. Again, entering more longs in case you didn't get in here, and then eventually trading it to the upside. However, as it looks at the moment, I do believe this scenario is more reliable and looks more promising, also with the volume supporting this move. But hey, we will see what happens after recording this video. I recorded a bit earlier than usual. The video will be online at 7, but hey, Formula 1 is starting at 6 and I'm a big Formula 1 fan. So guys, I'd like to thank you for watching. I hope this video was helpful or valuable to you, and thank you again for watching and subscribing as well. We're flying with the sub count. See you at my next video tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Central East European time. Make sure you trade safe, have a strategy, have some entry requirements, and again, stay safe, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.